Hello and welcome back to Quickies with Angela and Katie.
I'm Angela Dawn of Authentic Heart Coaching. I'm a tantric sex coach and I help individuals and couples rewrite their sexual story.
And I'm Katie Wilkinson of Katie Coaches. I teach women how to design love, relationships, and a life that serves them using pleasure instead of sacrifice.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, here we are in season 5, our season of play. And today we're in this Foundations of Play arc.
Yes, and so for today's episode, this is for all the couples who love each other, but you've gotten tired of the same old thing.
Yeah, maybe in a rut, right? Today we're talking about adventure time. So, what I mean by that is bonding through fun new experiences together.
Which is not just the cliche, oh, try a new position together. We're going way beyond that.
Absolutely. A lot of people just think, oh, we just need to spice it up. We need to go buy a new sex toy. We need to try a new position. We need novelty. Quick, grab the Kama Sutra, right?
So cliche. And while we do love a creative new position, adventure is so much bigger than that. Adventure is about waking your nervous system up and reinvigorating your connection together.
Absolutely. So, when we say adventure, we mean shared experiences that create novelty, aliveness, and involve a little bit of stretching yourself.
Yes, it can be super wholesome, it can be sexy, it can be weird, it can be small. There are infinite possibilities for how you can create that novelty together.
That's right. Your adventure could involve travel. It could mean taking a cooking class or learning a new hobby together, going for a hike, going to a concert, a dance class, trying a kink workshop or one of my tantra workshops, or going somewhere that you've never gone before and just letting the night unfold.
Right. The point is that you're stepping out of your oh so familiar routine. And I say this as a person who loves oh so familiar routines, but you're stepping outside of that so that it takes you out of the like logistical roommate feeling.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to go a little bit off the cuff here, Katie, and I actually kind of got into it with. Are you familiar with Wednesday Martin, PhD? Do you know her?
It
It's
sounds
on
vaguely
Instagram.
familiar.
Um, yeah,
Tell me more.
actually, a great sex educator, but she was actually saying that if you want to stay with your partner, like kind of like to cultivate a long-term relationship, what you need to do is not live together or have separate bedrooms or have separate bathrooms. And I was like, hold the phone. Have you ever heard of Tantra? Because you can share a bedroom and a bathroom with someone and go deep and have a lasting relationship. And I think part of this sort of drive that some of these relationship and sexuality influencers, when they're talking about novelty, that doesn't mean that you can't share in the everyday activities. It just means you have to put some intentionality into having new experiences, right? And when you put that intentionality into it, you start seeing each other quite differently.
Right. Like you wouldn't need to force it such that you have like it sounds like that kind of system is for having enough space apart from each other. And while I do support some of that, because like I love the idea of my own bathroom, my own space, my own whatever. Maybe we share his bedroom, but like I have my own separate one that I can go to whenever.
Mhm.
But I also love the idea that, of course, you can come together as often as you want and just have that newness, that kind of adventure together too, where you're like, oh, yeah, you're hot, you're interesting, you're funny, you're creative. This is the person that I fell in love with. I don't think you necessarily always need distance to create that. I like that there's the tantric perspective too, where you can go within the depth of what you already have.
hmm Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, novelty and adventure can really just make you feel reconnected. I mean, for example, my partner and I, for my birthday, we went on a wine tasting adventure in California. And, that was a big thing. It was a big deal birthday. I was turning 50, so I was going to spend some time and money on that trip. But the going to wineries and tasting wine made from like a specific grape and really getting into it, really getting into tasting and noticing what was going on with the ground that those grapes were growing in, and what was going on with the temperatures and the sunshine that year, and all of that, and really just like opening up our senses in that wine tasting experience. We were so connected on that trip, right? And it doesn't have to, that was a beautiful way to integrate sensory play into a novel adventure. But anytime you're doing something new together, it can have that hook.
I was going to say that sounded so incredibly sensual together. Like, what's not sexy about that? Activating all of your senses in this new experience, integrating the travel into just win-win all around. Ooh,
Yeah, I mean,
delicious.
look out, because I have a feeling that some tantric wine tasting events are going to be happening soon.
Stay tuned,
But yeah, there's a
everyone.
physio. You heard it here first. There's a physiological reason that this works so well, right? Speaking of wine, novelty creates a kind of like bonding cocktail in the body.
It does. We're working with dopamine, adrenaline, and oxytocin here.
Yeah, so dopamine is that, ooh, new things chemical that's sort of like linked to motivation and reward and desire.
Well, adrenaline adds a little bit of charge. This isn't fear necessarily, it's aliveness, it's excitement.
And then one of my favorites is oxytocin. That is the bonding hormone. That's what gets released through like closeness and touch and laughter and shared experiences. It helps you really feel attached and safe.
So, combining all three of those, the adventure helps you create feelings of being more alive, more connected, more attracted to each other.
And that's why couples often say we have the best sex on vacation. It's not just a hotel room and the novelty, or it's the novelty and the spaciousness and the play. It's the whole getting out of the ordinary, right? It's not just booking a hotel room.
It's all of those things together. And
Mhm.
I feel like it's also because having sex on vacation means you don't have this laundry pile that's waiting for you. You don't, have interruptions from your pets or your kids or other life routine chores. You can just kind of get away together and like really indulge in the sensuality and the adventure and the novelty and everything all together. It's, ooh, this is physically, literally outside of our everyday, ordinary routine and places.
All of those things too, Katie, you are right.
All right. So let's get into the how to so that our listeners have something concrete to try this week. We're going to make this easy by creating spice levels so that nobody feels like they're jumping from, we never even talk about sex, to, please tie me up, madam.
Exactly, right? So we're going to do soft core adventure, mid and spicy adventures, right? So we're going to start nice, easy entry,
We like an easy entry
soft
here.
core. We really like an easy entry. I know I had to go there. I had to go there. So, a soft way of trying this adventure idea is to just try a new restaurant or maybe a new cuisine together. Like maybe you've never had Afghani food. Go get some Afghani food, right? Go on a tourist day in your own city. There's a lot of things that you might be overlooking in your own town or your own city. Take a walk somewhere new and like pretend you're on a first date, hold hands, look at everything, look in the shop windows, play a board game with sort of like adding playful stakes to it, so like the winner chooses, what we do in bed tonight or something like that.
Board games as
Um,
foreplay.
I mean, it's bonding. Or, if you get turned on by like fighting too, that might work.
Thinking of those couples as well, a little bit of competition. There's the adrenaline.
Yeah, and this one I've seen on social media before, like go thrifting and pick out outfits for each other. Like even if it's ridiculous, I think that seems like a fun thing to do.
That's creative. I would even do that with friends. That's a lot of fun. So the softcore
Absolutely.
idea here is novelty with low pressure. Now, when you're ready for the next step up, because it'll be our mid adventures, they're a little bit more of a stretch. These are things like
Hmm.
trying maybe a dance class together, or you could do a couples workshop together, like one of yours, Angela. You could try a new kind of touch, maybe a massage exchange or like sensory play. Maybe you're playing with feathers or ice or something, a little bit of pain if that's interesting to you. You can also take classes together like pottery, improv, cooking, yoga, meditation, something kind of artsy. Or you could even plan a date that has a surprise element to it.
Yeah. I mean, surprise dates to me are fun, right? That mid tier that Katie was talking about, that's where you start to build confidence to adventure as a couple. Like, oh, we can do bigger new things and like we don't die, right? It's fine. It's all good.
take take you out of that comfort zone just a little bit more.
Yeah, so if you're already doing that kind of stuff together, you're already doing workshops and classes together, you're already planning surprises for each other, and you want to go into something a little spicier, you want to find your edge with adventuring. This next category of ideas is not an everyone should do this. This is for folks that feel actually curious and ready. So, one of my favorite ones is right at the top of our list is a sex club tour. Um, Even if you just observe, right? Just because you go to like a swinger club or a sex club doesn't mean you have to participate in anything. You could go and just watch.
I've done that
For
before as a
example,
newbie. I've totally done that. A friend and I went into one of the clubs in DC years ago, and it was like, I just want to, I
mhm.
want everyone to know I'm not going to participate, but like, I want to see how this works. And everyone is fine with that. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of like a live porn element to it. It's kind of neat. So, and then there are newbie nights. Like you used the word newbie, Katie, so that jogged my memory. But there are newbie nights at these clubs. So, like if you're in this Washington, Baltimore area where we are, there's a club called Taboo in Catonsville, and they have newbie nights there. So you might want to check that out. Another thing you might want to do is do a kink class. Um, so, like taking a class on shibari, like rope tying, or a class on spanking or pegging or scene play, like some kind of kinky class. You can probably find one online or at your local kink club. Um, and actually, the kink clubs often have like a kink 101 night. Those are great dates, like absolutely 100% great dates. Usually, they have different stations set up. I know the Kink Club in DC used to do one. Definitely go to a Kink 101 night as a date. It's really fun. Everybody keeps their clothes on. You know, it's pretty tame. It's just like a chance to kind of try things out and see what it's like. Another adventurous thing is to go to a nude beach together. You might have to do a little Googling, but I know there's some down in Florida.
There's some
Um,
in Hawaii too. I've been to one of those. It was actually on a family vacation. That wasn't exactly our intent, but we're like, while we're here, let's just go enjoy the space. And it's not sexual, but it is like a very freeing
mhm,
openness, just existing there experience. And that's really
yeah,
special. We did
absolutely.
not partake
Um,
again, but there were lots. There was like an interesting variety of people. Like there were some couples there. There were groups of friends. There were other families. So like this can be an
mhm.
easier experience if someone's like, oh, I don't exactly want to like go find a way to have sex in public, but I would like to experiment with having my body feel a little bit more vulnerable together with my partner in a space that's non-sexual. That's a great way to do that.
Yeah, I mean, years ago, I went to a clothing optional resort, and the objective wasn't necessarily to do anything sexy. It was just like, oh, I can show up to the pool with just my bottoms or whatever. That's kind of fun,
Just
freeing.
existing.
Exactly. And of course, I offer erotic massage workshops. I offer other workshops too that are clothed. I have PG-13 workshops that might be a little bit more of a MIDI event. And then I have the erotic massage workshops, and those I call them my rated R workshops, or my adult workshops, as it were. But something like that would qualify as like a spicy adventure for sure.
And we also want to note that spicy can be a private experience. This doesn't have to be you two going out in public and doing something. This can be maybe
Hmm.
a role play night, or it can be you try a kink scene at home, or maybe it's cross dressing in bed, or trying a new toy together, or even like, hey, let's spend tonight shopping for toys online together. That can totally work too.
100%. I mean, anything you don't normally do, right? Like spicy just means there's a little more charge, maybe a little more taboo, a little more vulnerability. Yeah, there's so many ways to add a little spicy adventure, whether it's at home or out.
Dipping your toes
And I
outside of the ordinary in whatever way feels safe
totally
to you and your partner.
100%. And I want to add that I wrote about this kind of in one of my Brains magazine articles. There was an article called How to Foster Deeper Intimacy in Your Relationship. We'll link to it in the show notes because I think it's really relevant, Caity. This is the part that people miss. It's not really about where you go to have quality time, right? Like Caity just made that distinction. You can do this at home, right? It's more about what you do together. So engaging in activities that one or both of you enjoy makes a great date, but it can be a good practice to alternate who chooses. So, one person isn't always dragging the other one along, right? You probably have somebody in the relationship that normally does the planning. So, how about switching it up? That's adding an element of adventure. If you want to turn the dial up on that connection, that's where you're really choosing novelty, right? So, trying out something together that neither of you has done before, or going somewhere that you've both never been, because you're learning or trying something new together, you automatically create that common ground. You have more to talk about and you make the memories that bond you. So, one of the easiest ways to create that novelty is learning something new together. So, I have couples in my practice who use their date nights to like learn tantric techniques with me through couples coaching because it gives them structure and a shared language and an actual pathway to deeper intimacy. But it can be way less serious than that. You could just go axe throwing, right? Or go on a ghost tour, or, like anything that brings out that play and that presence. And really, I would also say that travel is kind of a cheat code for this, because if you feel too busy in your everyday life, when you're in a new place together, free from distractions, your nervous system might just kind of unclench. You're like, oh, right, we do like each other when we're not so stressed out, right? Um, the important piece is choose activities that connect. If you're learning, exploring, laughing, making memories together, intimacy tends to follow.
Yes, just remember that the date here, the specifics of the date, that's not the point. It's the shared experience together that's the point.
Yes. So once you've got some adventure ideas, let's talk about how to choose them in a way that actually brings you closer instead of creating tension or more work or one person kind of dragging the other one along. And I think the two words to keep in mind here are consent and collaboration.
Yes. Adventure should feel like a full body yes, or at least maybe a curious maybe, but never a coerced yes.
Yeah. So you want to separate adventure from pressure, right? So you're not trying to prove anything, you're just exploring.
Here's a simple framework for this. Maybe each person chooses one idea. You look at the two ideas together and see where the overlap is. And then you choose something that has a clear container to it. You set a time, a place, and a quick exit plan if that's needed too. I find that helpful. Just as an introvert who doesn't leave the house very often, I like knowing, like, okay, if this, isn't really feeling so great when we get there, here's how we can make a swift exit quietly.
How long is it? And can we just walk out, right?
Yeah.
You're probably not going to walk out of like a workshop that you're in the middle of, but if it's a kind of taster, so or I don't know, Caity's like, she's like, I'm out of here. I'm out of the workshap.
I
I'm
can't be
out of the
contained.
workshop. I don't know. I've never had anybody walk out of my workshop, so maybe that just means that they're comfortable. So
Maybe that's you setting a really good container people feel space and or safety in.
Yes.
Hope
But
so.
what's also important is debriefing afterwards. Like, how was that for you? What did you like? What felt uncomfortable? Would you do it again? Right. So,
Yes.
really kind of understanding each other's frame of mind. Mhm.
Debriefing is so important. Like, that's how you build trust within this novelty. You're trying a thing, you're making it safe, you're talking about it. Then you're going to try another thing. You're going to make it safe and you're going to talk about it.
Absolutely. So, now we have homework, right? Simple
Sorry,
and
it's
fun
sexy.
homework. I would challenge you, if you're in a relationship, to have each of you write down 3 adventures you want to try this year together. So maybe one of the like sort of tiny soft core ideas, one medium idea, and one spicy idea.
Then you're going to share them with each other and pick one of those ideas to do this month.
And if you're really playing this as a game, you should alternate who chooses. So maybe like this month you choose a tiny adventure, and next month your partner chooses the medium adventure, and so on. So it stays kind of balanced and both partners feel considered.
And bonus points if you put this on the calendar, because while desire loves mystery, relationships love scheduling. Schedule it so it happens.
100%. Yeah. And I've got a cheat code for people that want it too. I've got free downloads on my website. I've got a couple of different games for free you can download on my website, plus a bed-in guide that can help you turn any weekend into an actual playful plan for this. Mhm.
Your freebies are so much fun. Like, y'all, I've reviewed these, I've looked at them, and I'm like, oh, that's so good. I can't believe this is free. It's really good. So check those out.
Thank you,
So,
Katie.
oh, you're welcome. So let's go ahead and wrap up this episode. If your relationship has felt maybe a little bit flat lately, never fear. You probably don't need a new partner. You might just need a new experience together.
That's right. Adventure reminds your body, oh, this person is not just my co-manager of life. This person is also my lover.
And that's all for this episode. Next up this season in our Play Foundations arc is our Creativity as Sexual Energy episode. This is about how sexual energy fuels life, not just sex. So go ahead and catch that dropping on April 1st.
And if you want support choosing your next adventure or rebuilding intimacy in a way that feels safe and exciting, I offer private sessions for individuals and for couples, and the links are in the show notes.
And if you haven't checked out our Pussy Whispering for Couples yet, this is our on demand For Her Pleasure video course series. Watching and discussing those videos together and trying out what you learn can also be a great date night activity. Those courses are also linked in the show notes below.
Yeah, and Katie, now we have the guide for couples that shows which videos you should watch and what questions you should ask and how you discuss it together. So you've got kind of 4 date night topic ideas right there with that course. Really value
Pre-planned.
added, I think.
I think
Yes.
so too.
All right, lovers, go write down your 3 adventures, one tiny, one medium, one spicy.
And then choose which one you're going to do this month and get it on the calendar.
Yep. And with that said, we'll see you next time on Quickies with Angela and Katie.